Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you've come, I'm actually at the moment not at home. I'm in the process of doing godparent duties. My godson's wife has just had a second baby, and so I was summoned yesterday to do some babysitting in Cambridge. And Cambridge, of course, was the university where our new king studied. And so as all the crisis took place yesterday, I was also travelling. But at 12:30, we think, the call went out to the royal family to come up to Balmoral, probably now. This is the time to say goodbye to Her Majesty. At 2 o'clock, it was announced that Her Majesty was seriously ill. And also at 2 o'clock, there's a very strange incident. Yalda Hakim, a BBC journalist, tweeted that Her Majesty the Queen had already died, and this tweet was removed very hastily. So it may be that by 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Her Majesty had passed away. We probably will never know. The royal family and the royal doctors don't give out specific information. Things may leak. Things have leaked about previous monarchs, but it may take some time before that happens, and I don't think we should expect that. Within an hour of that tweet, the BBC journalists on air were wearing black ties, as I am now, and I think that probably gave the game away. The cause of death will probably also not be revealed. It's not part of the tradition. Again, it may leak out, and there are rumours. There are rumours specifically that Her Majesty had quite a serious condition, possibly bone cancer or something, and that she had chosen not to continue treatment. It's certainly a believable scenario, and we know that Her Majesty was extraordinarily determined, extraordinarily kind, generous, and she wouldn't have wanted to put further pressure on her medical staff, I suspect. And she was very stoical. I can certainly imagine that conversation taking place. As for what's going to happen now, the days to come have been planned for years. This is a planning which went under the code name of London Bridge. London Bridge is down, and the entire panoply of media and state swing into action. And it is extraordinary. It was announced at 6:45. And Her Majesty certainly had the best possible medical care. She was universally respected. I think in 2012, there was a poll taken which said that she had 90% approval rating. But the important thing, I did quite a lengthy broadcast last night for Turkish news. And the important thing is that the monarchy is not a popularity contest. It doesn't matter how popular or how unpopular the monarch is still the monarch. And there was a lot of speculation about whether Prince Charles would be a popular king. He is king, and his wife is queen consort. And that happened automatically at the moment the Queen died. And the pronouncement will be made tomorrow, and it will be something that will be done through the Privy Council, possibly at St James's. I'm not sure. It may be done at Buckingham Palace now. Remember, St James is it's the court of St James that is important in the British Constitution, that unwritten British Constitution. Ambassadors are accredited to the court of St James. Traditionally, the new monarch is not present at the majority of that meeting. We know that Edward VIII secretly watched it. I cannot imagine that Charles III will. Charles III is a stickler for traditions and for the right way of doing things. I think we're going to have a very solid new monarch, and I think we're going to have a monarch who, like his mother, had a twinkle in his eye. I think we're going to see a wonderful monarchy in the reign of King Charles III and Camilla. I think it's probably worth my adding a darker tone to this and saying that I saw Liz Truss's statement outside Number 10 last night, and I was disappointed. I know that she's not good on public speaking. I don't understand why somebody who's not good at public speaking would go into political life and would aspire to the top job. But she really is not good, and her speech last night, which clearly had been written for her with Churchillian phrases, was delivered with the panache of a stumbling donkey. It was really, really disappointing. Though, the black dress was much appreciated. Tomorrow, Penny Mordaunt, as the new Lord President of the Privy Council, will lead the formal declaration of the death of Her Majesty and the formal proclamation of the new reign of Charles III. But it has already begun, and the coronation, which will take place probably next summer, again is a formality. He is already king, and the coronation is simply an outward manifestation of what is already a fact. And tomorrow we will hear King Charles proclaimed king by the grace of God, and also proclaimed defender of faith or defender of the faith. There's been some debate about that, and I talked about that last night on Turkish television. But the reality is, this is a translation of a Latin phrase, and there is no definite article in Latin, so whether it's defender of faith or defender of the faith, this is a title which was inherited from King Henry VIII and which had been given to him by the Pope, and which has been retained by British monarchs, although they left the Church of Rome ever since. And I have every expectation that King Charles will implement that idea of defender of faith in a broad and comprehensive and diverse way, to defend faith in all its manifestations, to be respectful of people who live their life according to good precepts. And I wish the new king all health and long life. God save the king.